What's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, guys? Your girl Ariana, that cute little brown girl, Airi with a little taster. And today, guys, we are here with another empowerment interview where we are going around and we are discussing what these female bosses, entrepreneurs, these international moguls are doing. And we get it in the nitty gritty, we lay back and chill, but I'm gonna make sure I let my guest introduce herself.
Hey guys, so I am Lindsay Bryce, international entrepreneur, the unlimited woman, and I am owner and founder of CLUBHOUSE Hair, which is located in one of the most elite neighborhoods of Berlin, Germany.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just a black entrepreneur.
Okay. First of all, what made you go to Germany?
Germany was definitely a passed down idea to me from my grandmother. Okay. So hair was never like the goal because I've never done hair before. So my grandmother was like, okay, before we even get to Germany, something happened in my family. So I am a sibling of one other child, which is my little brother, and my little brother was murdered in 2017 here in Dallas. So it was like, okay, I feel like we just sitting around being comfortable and we never felt like it could happen to us, you know? So it was caught off guard and it was just like my life did a 360. So I was in school, but then I stopped going to school. Once that happened in August 2017. And then January 2018, I was gone. So my grandmother was like, you gotta finish school regardless, so you might as well finish it out the country. In Germany's education is free. And I was like, well, I gotta finish regardless, and I would love to be out the country, so yeah, let's do it.
Wow.
And so I went, and before I went, I never visited or anything. I just packed up all my stuff, and I also have a video of this on YouTube. I packed up all my stuff, and I just went. And so my first time going was when I moved down there with all my stuff, and my cousin helped me. And we were like living in an Airbnb for like maybe a week. And then I found an apartment, and I felt like, okay, that was everybody's biggest thing about Germany, like finding housing is damn near impossible. And when I found my apartment in a week, I was like, oh,
this for you.
God want me to be here.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, just like a welcoming omen to me, and I was like, well,
okay.
From here, I'm gonna just create my way because I want to be here.
So was it hard, like adjusting to like the culture?
No, I'm a Sagittarius, so I can adapt. So you know, when it comes to Sagittarius, like I can adapt to anything, and to me, I don't really look at anything with the mindset that, oh, it's hard.
Right.
Because I think I can make anything happen because I can create it myself. Like, I don't have to go by any guidelines or any rules. I'm not coming to work a job or anything like that. It's like, it's free. I have free range and free will. So it's like, let me cook up something. So I already had a hair company selling hair in Atlanta. And that was literally like, also like just thrown upon me from like my ex. He was like, we need to just be doing something. Yeah. I was like, okay. Well, I'm not gonna just do nothing. So I was like, all right. And then I just took that to Germany. And yeah, when I was there, it wasn't like a thing. Like the beauty industry is not big there. So they're like really behind. They're still like a paperwork country. And it's like slow movement. So like this was my advantage. And I didn't even know it was my advantage. So I used to be seeing all these black girls. Well, barely. Whenever I saw black girls, I was like, who do your hair? Or who do y'all buy hair from? And they don't buy hair because nobody's doing their hair. They're not going to the salon to get their hair done. So I was like, well, I can't sell hair to people who aren't getting their hair done, so maybe I could do their hair. Like, they don't know me. They don't know I don't know how to do hair. Or if I keep doing hair, eventually how would they be able to tell, you know? So, but now today, of course, all my clients know the story. Yeah. I'm like, when I first met you, I didn't know what I was doing, but that's why your service was free. So practice makes perfect. So if you would buy the hair from me, then I would do your service for free. Because either way, I'm still getting paid some type of way from the hair. Right. And so me doing your hair for free gave me content, it gave me practice, and it gave me some consistency. And that just went rampant, like really quickly. And I was like, ooh, I like this.
Wait a second. Okay, so first of all, let's point out the fact that you were able to see that there was an open opportunity in the market and you took it, you didn't wait on it, and then you also didn't put more on yourself than you could. So it wasn't like okay, I'm about to start off people charging, you know, paying $300 and I know I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes.
But to really go through the process with no prior experience, you know, like really sitting here like, so did you know how to braid?
No. I taught myself everything. How to braid, how to sew, how to install, everything.
Okay.
So I literally learned like a lot of things off YouTube. And when I first moved to Germany, my other friend connected me with her friend who was from Memphis, and we linked up, and I used to be like, let me do your hair. But she had dreads, so we couldn't like braid. So she used to be like helping me braid with my clients. Like, it was so funny because I was doing hair in my house.
See, come on, so listen, there's no judgment. We love it. That's a grind.
Yeah, so I was doing hair in my house, and my friend was helping me braid. And then my friend got deported, and I was like, girl, how I'm gonna braid? I hope you okay, but how am I gonna braid? You know, like, this is my dog. I'm like, okay, we finna start something. But I was like, nah. So yeah. I think my first client, I braided her hair, but this is the beauty of everything. Like, once you start something, I know this for me, like, once you start something, you continue to do it and continue to do it, you learn other elements that you can input to, you know, big you up a little bit in that craft. So I was braiding my first client, and she was 9 months pregnant, and she was in my house, and I swear to God, it took me 9 hours to braid her hair down. She had the thickest hair ever, and I didn't know to blow dry the hair first before braiding it. So not only do I not know how to braid, I'm braiding thick, curly hair, and I'm just like, please bear with me. It took me forever, but to this day, she's still my client.
Wow.
All of her sisters, and her daughter's like 4 now. And it's
that's beautiful.
She's able to really see like the progress. He's like my day one client. Stuff like that was like, I could have quit.
Imagine being the person in the chair like,
she probably looking like, this girl don't know what she doing.
So was you like doing it and then taking it back out and then redoing it?
No, I was like just taking my time. It was like her hair was so thick. She had like a porcelain doll head. Like,
oh my god.
Her hair was
so
like
funny.
She's Brazilian. Her shit was thick, curly. She's like black Brazilian. I'm like, wow.
Okay.
It was a lot. So.
Okay. So that's truly motivating though. That's dope. Like, wow. Oh my goodness. So what was like more of some things that you would say helped to get you to where you are now? Like some habits, I guess.
I would say like self-motivation is so important. But for me, I feel like I had an opportunity a lot of people don't get, which was isolation. I was completely isolated to myself. I had no friends or family in this country. I don't speak the language. And besides working, like, I'm not going out. Like, I'm not like a social butterfly.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, I'm in my house and I'm creating things to do. I'm talking to myself. I'm going to church online. I'm writing books. Like, I'm doing hair. I'm watching YouTube. Like, I don't own a TV. Like, I haven't watched cable in like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Things like that. So I had a lot of time to myself to create this woman that I want to be. And I feel like with that, it allowed me to be more creative. It allowed me to have my own thoughts and plans and dreams without it being infiltrated by other people. So when I say I'm going to do something, I was able to do it. And on top of that, my business moved pretty fast. Like, I started doing hair July 2018. And November 2018, I was in the salon already. So then I'm like, now I'm working, I'm creating content, I'm traveling. I'm like, let me
let's go.
You know, that's the consistency, morning routines, and just like this clear, safe haven of mind that I had to myself was the best thing that happened to me. Because for instance, like, I don't think I would have ever been able to evolve like that if I would have been at home. Because home is comfortable, home is chaotic. I got a car at home, I got friends at home, I got a man at home. But in Germany, day and night, I don't got no car, so I ain't need to hop in the car just finding stuff to do today. No, it's like, I'm in the house, let me create something. And so I feel like that's how I was able to be so consistent and really build my business up instantly.
That's great. I feel like I can completely relate to that because when I moved from my hometown and we moved to Houston and we didn't know nobody there, and it was a group of us from Louisiana, Atlanta themselves, and we came to Houston. Nobody really knew nobody but each other, so we had no choice but to bounce ideas off each other, work amongst each other, and then when we did something, we was going with each other because that's all we do, and then we was making content from that. So it's crazy because I was just speaking with some friends recently, and I was telling them like, I don't know, I feel like I might go separate myself again because I feel like I've been around too much comfort. It's too easy to get to. It's a little different because I got to think about babysitters in schools, but it's just like how can I still get him in school, make sure he's getting the education he needs until we get to the point where we're having the tutors and the nannies come to the house and they're taking him on field trips and we doing class in Egypt. In the meantime, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just been trying to figure out how can I get us into this separated place, and I learned that like you can't really talk to a lot of people about what you're trying to do because people, like you said, will infiltrate and they'll throw their fears on you. And now I'm sitting here like, well, dang, what if I put him in this wrong school? And I had to really stop conversation, say honestly, to be honest with you, like he's not gonna be at the school long because I plan on getting a tutor and stuff. And it was just like, well, why would you do that? Your kid needs this experience. And I'm like, I think so too, but I also feel like if my kid, for me growing up, I didn't need a big classroom. I needed a school that had a school uniform. So once that transition happened for me, I didn't like it, but it was so necessary. And so much things changed. So I feel like when you go to God, he'll show you what this kid needs. And if God is telling me, hey, your son needs one-on-one time with the teacher in order for him to not start feeling insecure because he can't read as fast as them. And because, I'm saying, so many different things, and we be thinking that we're helping our children or helping people around us, but you can't go to people because they're going based off of their knowledge, what they would do. And then at the same time, people say, oh, I would never, 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 and then they get in a situation and you just don't know what you would do. Like, you don't know if you'll ride or die with the guns until you're sitting there and you're like, wait a second, this was cute, boo, but I am not shooting the gun here. And when he say him pull up, and he's like, I told him to go to the rooftop. That's what I'm talking about. So
that is true though. That's very true. It's super important not to share the good news with everybody because your good news might not be good news to them. And so like you said, people can only project their fears onto you or tell you, exchange these ideas of how far they see themselves going. So if you haven't experienced that yourself, I always feel like, why would I take advice from this person? And I know you can learn like a little bit of something from everybody, but you really have to make your mind up about something and move forward in that direction. If you straddle the fence, then the universe is always going to give you an A or a B. But if you say A is my only option and I'm headed towards A, everything you do headed in that direction will be, what's the word for it? Not an example, but Not an example, but like a projection of A. Like it represents. It represents A. Like I'm going to this final destination, and everything I do, every step I take, every habit I have represents the goal that I actually want. Yeah, so that's deep. That's what I meant to say. So I would say isolation, being by myself, and being able to really form my ideas and move forward on them without extra opinions allowed me to be so successful so soon.
Okay, wow. I feel like just for myself alone, like I'm taking so much in because it's like you don't really get a conversation where another female is okay to talk about like success and another female being okay to listen and really be like genuinely like you go, because so many people are like counting each other's pockets and just there's no like, I feel like there's not a lot of straightforwardness. Like it's a lot of like running around in circles.
Exactly.
Like, what we say we want in friends, but we don't put that same thing in relationships or any of these other things. But when it comes down to men, and you don't want to be those females, it's like, but I see it so much where it's just like we go to his first concert, everything, but when it comes down to our female friends or a female that we see walking by, we won't say you look good, but we'll say, dang, he fine. But we won't uplift another woman and say, and it's just crazy how we met, because it was just like we were sitting in the car.
Yeah, I said that on my thing first. I'm like, I love women like this. And I'm like, oh, I could have called she was a Sag because I'm like that too. I'm just like, it just was like, hey, you're pretty. Like,
and that's it, like, you're pretty.
Yeah.
And then it was just like from there, it was the response back made me feel invited to keep going. Because I've said stuff to people like, hey, you look so pretty. Oh, thanks. You know what? And sometimes people are just awkward and don't know how to respond to that because they're not used to it, because it doesn't happen a lot. But then when it happens and you get a good response, I said, and then she was so nice. She was just like, yeah, girl, and then we about to do this and I'll let you know. And it was just a good vibe. And I was just like, yes, people need to know that there is women out here who are like genuinely, you know, about what they're saying.
Exactly. I agree. Like, I'm a big advocate for collaboration over competition. So when it comes to like linking up, I'm like my friend's biggest hype man.
Yeah.
I don't have like a jealous spirit or an envious spirit. I feel like I love a friend that's equally yoked and we are equally footed and we can go travel the countries together and we can spend the same amount of money. And it's like, that's what I like. Like, I don't have to be like the person that's over anybody in my group, but I also don't have a lot of friends because like just socially it's just like a lot. Yeah. You know? And it's not hard to find friends, but
I feel like I've learned so much about friendships, yo. It's like a relationship. Like, it's like a full-blown relationship. And a relationship, they all require work. Exactly. They all require communication, patience, compromise. And you would think like, oh, you and your girlfriends. It's like, no, because she don't want to go to the movies today and you do.
True.
Like, you know, and it's just like, how do y'all love on each other and support each other? It's just so many different components that go into it. But I'm just excited. I just know that us coming into each other's lives was on purpose.
I agree.
I'm excited to see where God is going to take us in total.
I'm excited, and I agree as well, because I'm like, God always gives you what you need at the right time. Like, you might have been waiting for something for so long, or you might have felt like you missed out on something, and God was like, no, here it goes. Yeah. Like, right on time, right where I need you to be. So I'm like, okay.
And that morning we prayed and we said, you know, God, you know, we pray that we run into memorable people. And we were really specific. Yeah, we were really specific. And when we this was the first person we conversed with, and when she said Germay, I said, I couldn't get it out of my head. I said, God said we was gonna run into memorable people. We asked and said it, and here we are, memorable. And it's like, wow, like, that's beautiful. But I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any more questions. You have any more things you want to talk about?
So, are you originally from Louisiana?
I'm from Indiana.
Indiana.
Yes, I was born in Alabama, but I went to school mostly in Indiana. We moved around a lot. But
yeah, me too.
I was in Indiana the longest, so that's where I would represent. But if I could, I would genuinely say nowhere.
But you found yourself in Louisiana at one point?
No, Houston.
Houston.
Okay. Houston. Cool. That was pretty much it. But I just knew people from Louisiana that came to the Houston house. But
I was born in Louisiana, so that
really? Oh, what part?
Baton Rouge.
Oh, that's where my friends was.
So we moved up around a lot. So I also lived in Milwaukee and lived in Chicago. So I know both of those places are close to Indiana. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, girl. That was it. I went to Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. That was my little.
Yes. Michigan as well. Like, my grandmother has some homes in Pullman, so we've been a little bit everywhere.
Okay, yeah, girl, yeah, all over the world. But see, that's what I'm like. The only thing that I have not hit yet is my international card. Once I do it, I feel like it's game over. Like, I couldn't thank God more than I ever could in my life for everything He has done, to the point, like, the stuff that we used to cry about that was taken away was the best thing ever. Like, I feel so like, okay, my brain goes, okay, where your son going? He good? That. Let's get to the thing. And at first, I used to be like, what about them? What about this? And what about him? And then now it's just like, us.
It's like laser focus. Like,
yeah.
what do I need to do to get to where I want to go?
Yes, and I'm like, I already know, guys, it's just like when you get to this point of relationships and stuff, you gonna know.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just like, on Wednesdays, I got therapy. I need to be journaling. I need to be praying, and I got church on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. That is it.
I love that.
Soccer on Wednesdays, you know what I'm saying? Swimming classes once a month. It's just kind of like stuff where you just like, I'm just trying to create that generational wealth for the people after us, and also trying to enjoy it and live it myself. Like, we got all our lives to be
doing everything else.
Right. Like, I did the party year. I went crazy. I had a blast.
Yeah.
I went in. Now I'm just like,
let's focus. Let's get disciplined. Let's get organized. And let's do those. Let's arrange those things that are gonna put us in the position to be where we actually want to be. And then once we get there, then we can consider doing the other things, because they're always gonna be there.
Yeah. Like, let's talk about kids in my yacht. The second one.
You know, that was my biggest thing as well. Like, when I was moving, a lot of people were like, you sure you want to go that far? Are you sure you want to do that? And for me, my mindset was always like, if I sacrifice a little now, I will have a lot more later. And if I sacrifice my comfort zone, literally I sacrifice my comfort zone, and I sacrifice what the people I know, my love, my relationships, and I flourish in uncharted territories, which I didn't imagine beforehand if I didn't sacrifice exactly what I sacrificed. And on top of that, a lot of people will feel like, if I go here or if I do this, maybe I will miss out on something. And I felt like, why not go far?
Why not?
Home is always gonna be home. My parents are always gonna be my parents. They're not gonna stop being my parents if I leave, you know? And if I don't like it, I can always return back. It's not like I'm going and I'm stuck, or this is my end all be all, or what if the job doesn't work out? But a lot of people aren't willing to take risks like that.
Yeah, and like you said, the most important part is being uncomfortable, adjusting to the new chargers and everything.
The new chargers, the public transportation. I have never.
And then you can't speak with it.
No. So it's like, things like that excite me. Like when I have to figure out where I'm grocery shopping, I have to figure out how to navigate myself around this country that I don't know anything about. And then even the hair process, like learning how to do it and watching myself get better, seeing my content go up more, things like that excited me. It wasn't that I was making money, it wasn't that I was doing hair, it was like the evolvement of me is what made me more excited. Like, oh damn, what else can I create? Or what else can I do? Okay, I was braiding, I was doing wigs. I think I want to do silk press. But it wasn't, to me, it wasn't like the basics. It wasn't like the basic of this actual service. It was like being able to teach myself this, create my way with this, and then people actually like it and gravitate to it.
Wow, that is dope. Like, that is so dope. That is like, it's just like listening to you is so funny. It sound like the videos I've been watching of people I've been praying to come into my life, because it's one thing to have people say yes, do it, and it's another thing to have people say yes, do it. Even if you don't do it, I'm still gonna do it. So that way, if you don't believe, I can't tell you something, you don't also kind of believe it. It helps when somebody's telling you, I can show you how to get a lamb, and it's right behind them, and you're like, oh, so what'd you get? And it's like, I got behind the tree and I did this, and it's like, okay. Versus somebody like, it's just like it's just an amazing thing to know and to pay attention. And a lot of successful people have been saying, like, in isolation, in spending time with yourself, having a focused plan, and then taking the risk. And I've been saying, recently heard over the weekend, this guy said, risk without research is reckless. And I was just like, the most important part about it is like, it's the risk, because I'll research something to death, but it's the risk. And I'm thinking about all the moments I did take a risk and what happened, because I wasn't supposed to be the high school girl who got pregnant and dang, her life was over. But it was like no, it didn't go that way at all. Now, everybody in my city is like, you either sitting there, you either watch me on YouTube saying that's the girl in class. You can say whatever you want, but now it's just kind of like, I did something that it's some people that I talk to that will not leave that state, that city ever. And I'm just like, wow, look how far I've come. And just like you said, that rush of just like, I'm not, like last year I used to be on here like, I don't know when I'm ever gonna just get my own stuff, like my life together. Like, I lost my best friend, talking about my exes. I was just so sad. Like, I lost everything. You know, God put me on a pause from YouTube, and this is my income, like my only stream. And so when I watched everybody around me elevate, grow, make money, videos, views popping, and I'm like, what can I do this? And it's like, no. What can I do this? No. And to really change my direction into this new lane of just like lifestyle and show me every day, show them it's okay to do a video and not have makeup. And then it was just like he told me not to wear no wigs. I said, I'm sorry, what? It was like literally things that I thought was just so, and I didn't get it until I started meeting people who didn't know who they were without it. And that's the thing where it's just like you can wear makeup, have your hair done, but it's so important to know who you are with it and without it. Because if you don't,
you'll get caught up in it.
Yeah, and like I said, like everybody want to be this one way, and nobody talks about the work that was put in. That's why I was asking about your habits, because it's one thing to see you be successful now, but to know like, no, she took this time away from family, friends. And you hear this repetitive and nobody's listening, like you need to get away from the people that's not pushing you forward and take that risk.
I agree. And another thing, like when it comes to people's stories, is like, it's kind of tricky because like when I look at my own stories, like, okay, people can see all of the things that I show, but I'm very transparent with my story. But if you didn't ask me, you wouldn't know that. In the first year of this country, like I was sued in that country. It's like certain things like I had to learn along the way. Like I didn't have to learn everything beforehand, because I think getting started is like everybody's biggest hurdle. Like where to start, do I have enough money or do I have enough information? And it's like, it's okay to start and learn along the way. Like you don't have to be completely well versed in that category, because it's impossible for you to know everything before you start going anyway.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you didn't ask, then you wouldn't know that I was sued. You wouldn't know that I had to switch lanes from like one salon to another. Then I went to my own salon, and then it was just like, it was trials and tribulations. It was like a lot of tears. It wasn't like easy. But like I said, the evolvement of myself is what makes me more and more excited to just keep going and keep doing. And then in the midst of me just doing me, I just so happen to be inspiring other people. And then I'm like, okay, well, damn, that's exciting too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you started so it kind of feels like you started like developing a passion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I started to develop a passion.
And it sounds like the passion is in falling in love with evolving.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
That's exactly what it is. So it wouldn't be hair or it wouldn't be anything else that I've ever done, because now that I've experienced this and I went ahead and took that risk, now I've traveled like 17, 21 countries. Countries that I've never thought I would go to, countries that I didn't even know existed, type of thing. So it's like, okay, me taking that one little risk, but if I would have waited, I probably would have still been doing the same thing, not gonna lie. Like before I left Atlanta, I was a bottle girl at Onyx. And I was a bottle girl at Onyx, and I was working there with fake ID. A lot. And so I felt like every time I give myself, the power of your tongue is so important. Like you definitely gotta watch what you say, because the subconscious has no joking spirit. So I said I was gonna be working at Onyx for 6 months, and my 6th month, I decided that I was gonna actually stay longer because I was making some good money, and I was the waitress. I'm like, you know what? I might stay a little longer. And ironically, during my 6th month, I actually got fired. How many people get fired from the strip clubs? So I got fired, and I was like, that's God.
They gonna fire you.
They fired me, and I was like, well, I ain't gonna clean up tonight anyway.
Right.
So it's like God always shows me where I want to go, and He always makes a way for me, as long as I'm trying, as long as I'm a fair person and a good person. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do behind closed doors, and in front, I feel like He got my back, and He ain't never let me down yet.
That's
so
good.
That's
good. That is good. That's some good talking right there. I already know. Listen, if y'all want more, y'all gonna have to sign up for a podcast or something.
Yes, I should have you as a guest speaker on my podcast.
You got a podcast?
I got a podcast.
Are you serious?
Yes. It's called Conversational Messages. So So it's just like this. Like when we're just having a regular conversation, but we have so many messages within this one conversation because it's just so intellectual. It's like thought provoking. Yes, it's a girl edition podcast. You should definitely.
I was telling my family, I said, I'm gonna start doing these videos. So I said, I want to start a podcast. I said, but I'm like, I would talk again, the research part. I would, what's the right camera and what's the right mic? So I said, girl, set this camera up and go to the people and talk.
We started this podcast on the phone, like me and my friend on Anchor. And Anchor, like you guys can call each other and just record your conversation.
What?
So then I was like, you know what? We not finna, because we bought the microphone and everything, and guess what? We never used it. So it's like, stop wasting your own time. And just start. When you overthink too much, you never get started. Like starting is everybody's biggest hurdle. You always think you need more. When it's just like, go ahead and get started. Stop playing yourself.
Okay. Stop playing yourself. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen who have tuned in with us, thank y'all so much for supporting us. I'm gonna make sure all of her links and everything that you can support, follow and read up on, and go on this journey along with her, because she is not done yet. We not done yet. So make sure y'all go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, and go ahead and share this video with someone that you think just really needs to hear that you yourself can do it. Exactly. It is not impossible. And to know that your sisters, your brown sisters, your beautiful international sisters, however you want to look at it, are here to support you along the way, giving you tips, advice, and just when you go to her podcast, conversational messages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gonna